What does Professor Lancaster think? America never signed the contract on civic virtue. It's always been a carnival of control, a parade of bouncers at the velvet rope, deciding who gets to breathe, who gets to dance, and who gets tossed into the alley. This is history stripped to the bone, the kind muttered over cheap liquor just before the lights snap on and the badge flashes. Consider Thomas Morton, Puritan New England's first gatecrasher. In the 1600s, he planted a maypole as a gesture to the authorities and threw a party that pulled in English settlers and indigenous people alike. For one unruly heartbeat, joy slipped past the centuries as outsiders linked arms, dancing into the teeth of power. The Puritans, predictably allergic to anything resembling fun, dispatched Miles Standish and his muscle to shut it down in 1628. They stormed Marymount, dragged Morton away, and hacked the maypole down like it was a snake in Eden. America's opening act in the theater of holy enforcement: obey or get flattened. The Puritan project continued beyond party crashing. Their purity obsession set into something icier. Spiritual zeal curdled into racial sorting. Black bodies drafted as labor, native lives erased as obstacles, and joy itself criminalized unless it showed the right face and carried the right credentials. None of this was accidental. White supremacy wasn't a glitch, it was the operating system. The maypole at Marymount morphed into the ghost dance, and both were met with the same answer. If you dare to celebrate outside the lines, expect the boot. Wounded Knee, 1890. 300 Lakota Sioux were slaughtered for the offense of dancing hope back into the world. They didn't bring weapons, they brought faith. The U.S. Army replied with gunfire. This wasn't a blunder. It was policy. The state, having pocketed the land, turned on anyone who had the courage to claim a soul of their own. The ghost dance was a final, defiant prayer for self-rule. The state answered with gunfire. Still, the survivors' tenacious hope outlived the bullets. By the 20th century, the priests swapped robes for ledgers. Money took the pulpit. The Pullman strike was the test. Workers rose up, and the tag team of capital and government stomped them flat. The Panic of 1893, conjured by monopoly tricks and financial shell games, was received not with relief, but with troops and cover stories. What followed was capitalism on a leash, engineered by the usual suspects in government and finance. Populist uprisings got smothered, and the big parties linked arms to keep the rabble penned in. The war on joy never called a truce. The maypole is now a band. The ghost dance, a protest flagged for surveillance. The message hasn't changed. If anyone dares to live out loud, shut it down, whatever it takes. Joy is subversive because it refuses obedience. Whether in private defiance or public protest, joy scrambles the circuitry of control. That's why it's hunted, and why reclaiming it is an act of power. From 1625 to 1890, the record is blunt. Power panics when it can't yank the strings. Every chapter is a dare to live ungoverned, celebrate in daylight, tell the truth, and never ask permission. The real heretics in history were those who acted freely when the world insisted on chains. Raise the maypole, light the fuse, listen for the ghost dance whispering beneath the interference of authority. The state always makes the first move. The spirit that dances outlasts every crackdown.